I got this junkyard steering wheel. It's in pretty bad shape. I like the style and the size. I like the fact that it doesn't have any dish to it. But it's in too crummy a condition to put on my Barracuda, and that's what I wanted to try it on. So I'm going to give an attempt to clean it up and fix it up. It's got a flat spot up here that I'm going to have to try and come up with a way to get that out. So I traced the shape of a good part of the steering wheel on a piece of 2x4 to cut a shoe out. I cut the shoe out, and then with this dowel and with sandpaper on it, I sanded a groove that's about the same size as the thickness of the steering wheel into my buck here. So now what I'll do is put the shoe in here. I have a hydraulic ram that has a set of jaws in it that open, and what I'll do is put that set of jaws in here up against this part of the steering wheel and push against this shoe and try and get the shape back in there in the steering wheel here. I tried to use my hydraulic wedge tool, and as soon as I put pressure on it, it blew the seal. I took it apart. I've got to see if I can find a new seal to make it work. So anyway, this is 1/2 the wedge. That's the piston. I've got to find a seal that'll fit that piston. But I'm going to continue. I got another idea I can try to push that steering wheel apart with. I made this thing one time for pushing apart 2 exhaust pipes as they came together so that I could wedge a crossover in there, and it held them apart while I wedged the crossover in and tack welded it in place. It's just a nut here is designed for joining threaded rod together, and this is a bolt of the same size. So that screws down into here, and this is a smaller bolt with a little saddle on it that fits into here, and it just works just like a wedge. So what I was going to do is try and use this to put in between here and here to push that out. I think it's working. I got this contour gauge and I set it on a good part of the wheel, and then around here where the damaged spot is, it looks like it's taking shape. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to go out farther. I'll have to push it out farther so that when I get spring back, it'll spring back to the right size. I'll try now to extend it out further than what it needs to be. See how much spring back I get when I release it. Not quite there. Still looks a little flat right there. I shortened the block about 1 inch on each side. What I'm going to try and do is force it now and concentrate more of the pressure on the spot that is flat. I've got some shape back into it. It's not yet the exact contour, and I'll have to push it out beyond that because of the spring back. That looks pretty good. Gauge says it's not there yet. That's getting there. I think I'll release it and see what I got. It's pushed it out now. Let's see if it springs back. This is what I should have done to start with. I ground the head of a bolt off so it's the right size. It'll fit right in here. Now I screwed it into here with a washer here for that to turn on, and now I don't have to worry about that slipping off. So I'm going to try it again. Okay, that looks pretty good. Let's see how it works. I got a slight balloon right in here. Go a little further. I can feel it here, stretching this one straight. I'm going to do one more and release it. See what it looks like. I shortened the shoe about another 3/4 inch on each side to kind of concentrate the pressure in one spot. Hey, that looks pretty good. I think I got it. The contour gauge says it's fit. All right. Now I'll have to clean up the middle. Polish this up, see if I can get that bright and clean looking. There. I'm happy with that. The edge of the rubber on this spoke is torn right here, so what I'm going to do is just cut it straight across here. And it's torn on both sides, so I'll cut it straight across here, and it'll just make it a little bit shorter from here to here. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side to make it symmetric. The bottom one, it looks like maybe it came from the factory shorter than the other two, or perhaps somebody cut it off, but it's clean, so I'm thinking it came from the factory that way. The striations in this surface right here, on the metal surface, is actually painted on. It's not painted on the back side at all. What I'm going to do is sand these surfaces clean and get down to the bare metal. It's not the type of metal that'll rust. I really don't know what the metal is. It's not aluminum, but it's not a rusting type metal. I'll probably go ahead and spray it with clear coat anyway after I get it cleaned up. Now this will come off when I sand it. Now this is 1 inch from here to here, so what I'll do is measure this and measure 1 inch from here to here and cut it off the same way. I'm sanding it with 220. And then I'll go back and polish it probably with some sort of really fine sandpaper. Worked out pretty good. I didn't polish the back. The back is sanded with 220, and it has like what you call a brushed finish in it. I think I'm going to leave it like that. The front's been polished to a nice gloss. I'll use acetone to cut all the glaze and old wax off the old rubber grip. Now addressing a 303 protectant on the rubber. Here it is, cleaned up, polished up. It doesn't look brand new, but it doesn't look worn out either. My original plan was to get a leather cover to go over the grip and stitch it in place around this. I may not do that now. It depends on what I actually use this steering wheel for. My hot rod has a 13-inch steering wheel on it. This is a 14. My hot rod's difficult to steer. It's not power steering, and I thought maybe the extra inch of this steering wheel would make it a little easier to steer. Give me a little more leverage and make it easier to steer. So I may put it on the hot rod. If I do, I'm going to use it just as it is. This is an E-Body Barracuda steering wheel that I have a leather cover stitched on it. This is a 15-inch wheel. I was going to use that steering wheel to replace the 15-inch wheel on my Barracuda. Barracuda has power steering, full-time power steering, and I thought maybe a smaller wheel might make it a little more comfortable driving. I can use it to help me determine what adapter I need to make for that steering wheel to fit the Barracuda. Well, that's as far as I'm going with this for now. I hope you don't feel like you've wasted 12 minutes of your life, but thanks for watching.